Hi guys, Ashley here. I just want to make this very quick video for you just to show you how you can make more money and book more appointments through running paid advertisement and just tightening up some of the systems and processes that you may or may not be using at the moment. But I just want to give you a quick snapshot into essentially how you can just get more deal flow and more leads into your calendar by running some basic stuff. And if you're not running ads at the moment and you're thinking about starting, then hopefully this will also give you a little insight into the way that you can start and actually book meetings with leads fairly quickly. So what we've got on the screen at the moment is essentially just a real basic breakdown of what your ad process should look like. And I'm just going to kind of walk through this with you. So at the top, we have ads, right? This is the actual creative. This is the copy that is out there for leads, potential clients, prospects to actually see. Now, this could be across any kind of platform. So Meta, obviously, like Facebook and Instagram. It could be LinkedIn. It could be Google. It could be other, it could be, YouTube or TikTok if it's not going to get banned. But it doesn't really matter the platform. We're fairly sort of platform agnostic. But the ad in itself needs to be good. The creative and the copy actually needs to talk about a pain and a problem that you can solve for the person that you want to click on the ad. Because essentially, if you're not hooking them in, you're not giving them a reason to actually click to learn more. Okay, so recently I was talking to a potential client and they are a pharmacy, but they have a wide range of services that they can actually offer. And they said to me, well, can we not just pull them through to the landing page and then people can select the service or the location or whatever it may be. And the problem with that is to do that, you're going to have a front end that is very general, right? You're probably not looking for just a pharmacy to walk in and then think about the service or the problem that you want to solve. You're probably looking for a solution to a problem. And the fact that you are a pharmacy is just a byproduct of the fact that you can solve this problem, okay? And you can apply that to your business and any sort of target industry, service, product, whatever. Like your product and your service solves a problem, and that should be in the ad. That should be at the forefront of the actual advertisement itself, okay? Now, when people click on that ad, where do they go? Now, depending on the platform, you've got different options. We run a lot of like Meta advertisement, and I always say that as long as you can build a good landing page or you can get someone to build a good landing page, take them to a landing page. The reason for that is essentially you are qualifying the prospect better. We all know what it's like. If you run ads at the moment, you run them on Meta, you get leads that come through, they go to a form, like your Facebook form, like a lead form, and they put in their name, their details, whatever, maybe answer a question or two, and you ring them up, and it's a case of, I didn't do that, it's by mistake, I don't need that thing, and you think, who are these fucking people that are going around filling in things, right? And the reason that they are not qualified is because they haven't got enough information about the product or the service. So taking them through to a landing page educates that prospect further, and it makes sure that they actually want the thing that you sell, right? So for example, again, like we've got a carpet cleaning client, we had a lead come through and initially they went to a lead form. Then what happened was we rung that prospect up and they were like, well, that lead up, and they said, oh no, I was looking to buy a carpet cleaner machine, right? Now, if we actually took them through to a landing page, they would get to that conclusion themselves. They go, oh, hang on a minute, these guys aren't selling the machine, they're doing the cleaning, right? And probably would have come off that landing page and gone somewhere else. So the landing page, as long as it's built in the right way and it's optimized, is generating you more qualified prospects. Now, if they do click off that, right, we could then retarget. Now, obviously, if they're not qualified, that's kind of a waste, but you are going to have qualified people who come through, they have a look, they kind of look through, they're like, oh yeah, that's probably for me, but then for whatever reason, they don't fill in their details. So what a lot of people miss out, they just run the ad, but they don't do any retargeting. So a retargeting ad on top of it, just a really, really small budget, but just going back into people that have already clicked, already looked at the landing page or visited, and obviously that can be set up through your pixel and all that sort of stuff. Now, when people fill in their details, you obviously could just get them to schedule a call or schedule a meeting or whatever your next steps are. What I would always recommend, if possible, is getting on the phone to that lead. God forbid, I know. But having like an appointment setter or someone who can actually just pick up the phone and have a conversation with that person and make sure they're a good fit for the service and then kind of manually book them in, right? So I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself a little bit, right? Because you're going to have three options. Either they're a good fit, they're like, yes, I have this problem, I want that thing, when can I get it, or when can we book in, or whatever, which means that they're then booked, right? They could not pick up the phone. You will get a lot of people who fill in the details and don't pick up the phone for whatever reason. They're busy, they don't answer unknown numbers, whatever, right? So you are going to get some people who just don't pick up. Also, you are going to get people who do pick up but are just not a good fit. They're just unqualified leads, which is, it's not a problem, so to speak, but we can just get rid of them out of the sales process. Okay, and then you're going to have people who just don't pick up at all, and that's where we can then put them into a follow-up sequence. Again, so many businesses miss out on so much money because they've got no follow-up sequence at all. The money is in the follow-up, right? So if you're running ads at the moment and you are taking them to a landing page, right, or maybe a lead form or whatever, and you call them and then you don't get through, then what? Like, do they just sit there stagnant and you're like, oh, well, they're not picking up, they haven't booked in, so therefore, we'll just get rid of them. That is where people miss out all the time. So what you need to do is build a follow-up sequence. Now, this could be SMS, so like text messages, it could be email, it could be WhatsApp, it could be, a number of things. But we typically will have an SMS follow-up running and an email follow-up running. Basically, what that means is if someone has shown interest, they've gone to a landing page, they've educated themselves, which means they're probably qualified, they've taken the time to fill in their details, hit submit, they probably want the thing you're selling, but I've just not booked in or haven't had opportunity to book in, or maybe we can't talk to them. But those follow-ups is giving that prospect the opportunity to then book in themselves. So it could be a link, it could be a phone number, it could be a text message that says, when are you free? And then you can manually book them in from there. It depends on your business. It depends on your process in terms of what you want them to do next. But a follow-up process is going to collect like an extra 50% of the people who would otherwise just drop out of your sales process just by simply following up. Now, like I say, 50% just still won't take any action from the follow-up, but it is going to get more people down and actually booked into, whatever that next step is for you. And then from there, like, this then kind of falls outside of the whole ad process, but you are going to want some nurture and you are going to want some reminder sequence in place. And what that basically means is you're reinforcing their decision by nurturing them, which means I've booked a call or I've scheduled a meeting or I've asked for a quote or whatever it might be. And then they're getting reinforcing material. So it could be testimonials, it could be case studies, it could be before and after pictures, it could be information about, the next step. That's nurture. And then you've got the reminder sequence, which is simply text messages and email reminders to say, hey, don't forget, like tomorrow at 1:00, we've got a meeting, or, later on today, we've got a meeting, or remember, like in 10 minutes time, we're getting on a call to do ABC. Okay. So that is your reminder sequence as well. Again, that should just be a part of your sales process. It's not necessarily just in like an ad process, like a paid advertisement process, but nonetheless, like it follows suit quite nicely. So that as a whole, right, should be start to finish kind of the process there. The things that I typically find that people get wrong, the first one is the creative on the ads. Most people's ads just fucking suck, which means that they're not actually calling out people's pains. They're not getting the right type of people into their funnel in the first place because the ads aren't good enough. If they do, they're using a lead form instead of a landing page, so that they may be getting unqualified leads come in. There's probably no retargeting. So, the people who do come in, they do have a look around and then they go, away. There's nothing to then follow up and say like, hey, I know you looked at the landing page, why don't you come back? But the big one that I see most of the time is this appointment setting. Most businesses haven't got like a call in place. They haven't got someone sat there ready to call this lead in under 5 minutes. And that's a big thing, right? The chances of you actually getting through to that lead after sort of 5, maybe 10 minutes, but mainly sort of 5 minutes has elapsed, just significant. It just falls off a cliff, right? So you want to get on the phone to this lead as soon as physically possible. Obviously, if it's the middle of the night or whatever, don't be calling people then. But as soon as you physically can, you want to be on the phone to these people, booking them in to, whatever those next steps are, okay? And if you can't get on the phone, then you need a nice, strong follow-up sequence across different elements. So SMS, like text messages, and email as a minimum to prompt this person to get booked in, right? So those are the things that we typically see are missing or are not done as good as possible in ad campaigns, essentially. Now, if you need some help with your ads, or you're thinking about running ads and you would like a process built like this for your business to find your ideal clients, get them qualified, get somebody to actually call them for you and book them in into whatever those next steps are for you, that is essentially one of the things that we do. And we work with B2B companies and we work with some B2C brands. So if you need anything like that, obviously there will be a link in the description. Feel free just to book a call with us and we can have a quick chat about how we could potentially help you. Equally, like if that's not what you're doing and you've got this yourself, like hopefully there are some useful bits of information in here that you might be missing and you want to just pull across and implement into your business to ultimately increase that conversion rate and get you more quality leads. Anyway, that is everything for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe for more videos like this. The aim here is to help you get more clients, make more money, build better and bigger businesses. So subscribe for more content like this.